There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
Side stories?
That's when the cannibalism started.
Side stories. Yes.
Bruce Wayne's got big teeth.
I was expecting. As soon as you said T, I was expecting the rest of the word to be different.
Because I'm classy.
Yeah.
Wow. I looked at this, and the first thing I noticed.
Honestly, it's kind of rude.
First thing I noticed is she has very large fake teeth.
It's
Are you sure they're fake?
Veneers always are. She's got the chompers on them.
She's got big teeth. I know it's partially because I know that she went through a little bit of a drug issue.
Mm-hmm. So you got to clean them up.
She had an addiction thing, so they have to go. It's kind of like when there's some dentists that always got to huck fin the mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got to go. You got to paint it all white. Got to put it back
on
up.
their coveralls.
New rafters.
I have it on good authority that she's a wonderful person.
I've heard the same.
Yes.
I just said nothing.
I'm just saying. I'm just letting you made fun of her teeth.
I said no. You
and
put
I will
the
not
qualifier.
sit here.
You put the qualifier of made fun. I just said.
Oh, so you like big teeth on a person?
I do.
On a horse?
No, she said that. That's Jackie Zabrowski.
Here's the thing,
She
Jody-
said that. And yeah, we might sound similar, but she said that. I think that Jodie Sweetin's very beautiful. I think that
She
it's
is
actually
beautiful.
extremely.
She's gorgeous.
I think it's extremely feminist of me. That's the first thing I noticed were her big honking, swinging teeth.
I'm always thinking about that.
She had big teeth as a
With you,
kid.
Henry.
I don't know if they're fake.
No, those are, yes, of course they're fake. Those are fake teeth. Those
Definitely
are child's teeth. That's a children's mouth.
Yeah, that's pre-braces right there.
Yeah, no, they don't look great.
She's got big,
As a child, now they look great.
awesome, supple, beautiful,
She's got a pair of nice teeth.
Also, Jodie Sweetin.
huge pair of great
Great
teeth.
teeth. She also always stands up to Candace Cameron Bure. And I
wait, just
And they're
that's
still
where this came
friends,
from.
though.
Yes, they're still friends.
That's
and I like
what's
it.
so cool
I
about
know,
it.
I love it.
Well,
Yeah.
we're already in page 7 territory,
Sorry.
aren't we? No,
Sorry.
I
I
started
like
us.
it. I like it.
I
That's a
started
good
us-
way to go in.
I'm setting the tempo. Hi, welcome to Side Stories. You hear a little. You hear a little noise. I'm just got veins. I got bad veins.
Oh, why are you bringing up my bad veins?
yeah, you're a fucking asshole brother.
I got bad veins.
They had to be stripped from my legs.
Yeah.
Hey, they sound like those veins. They got fired.
You'd be horrible
You fired.
at heroin.
Man, I would be. Actually, technically, I'd be very good at heroin because I could
Big,
just
thick veins.
Yeah, they're already popping. I don't even need to like squeeze them up.
I meant as like a superhero.
Yeah. Oh, very bad heroin.
yeah.
She's
Well,
not
yeah.
brave.
No one is looking to me for help.
But I'm here.
I
My name
do.
is Henry Zabrowski. I'm sitting here with my sister, Jackie Zabrowski. Is our special guest. I should have done you first, Eddie.
I don't give a fuck. Jackie, ladies first. She's wonderful.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I'm happy to see you here, Jackie.
Thank you. It's nice to be here, guys.
It's
Yes.
nice to have
Thank you for joining.
Be seen here.
I'm sad, but also happy that there's no pudding involved in this. But it is weird to be sitting next to you
I
and
think
there's no
Good
pudding.
Pudding's the funniest show on the network. By the way,
Wow. appreciate
personal
that. Thank
opinion.
you.
It's
He's
my
on
favorite
Side
show.
Stories and last podcast on the list.
And
That's
Brighter Side.
interesting.
Don't forget
And
about my
Brighter
other show. And Hoopa Goo Goo Game. Good Pudding's the funniest show. I
Well,
sit there and
thanks.
I cackle. I laugh.
You
I
don't get anything extra.
I'm being nice. Jesus Christ, Henry.
I'm sitting
Try
here-
it once in your life.
I'm sitting here with the weakened Ed Larson showing the weakest emotion, which is being nice.
Is that true?
I don't know.
I'll fucking kick your ass.
That's how I
Do
like
it, Eddie. Do it.
I
I'll be right behind you,
I like this
championing
energy.
you.
This
Yes.
is, see, that is what I'm talking about.
Beat 'em up, Eddie.
See, that's all I do. I'm a conductor. As the head of this show.
You broke me.
I play you both like instruments. Ah, yes, you are the piccolo. And Eddie's my big trombone. Yeah, same noise.
We know instruments.
Now, guys, today, the reason why I had Jackie here, and it's not just because it feels like I have to.
And because I'm the more beautiful one, but you have, again, the bigger tits.
We're trying to bring women onto Side Stories, and this is the bridge.
The only
It's the
one we
best you
know.
could get, yeah.
This is the bridge to women.
Yeah.
Now, this is to show you we're safe. and
Pretty
we're
sure the
kind.
wives wouldn't do it.
Well, it's just how long, how much more of the show do they need to receive? But today, the reason why we have Jackie here is because we wanted to talk. I got a couple of requests
because, it's our summer break. We got a couple of requests of a straight up movie review episode.
Okay.
Because Eddie and I, we watch a lot of movies, and I only know one other person that watches as many films
More.
as me. Yes. Is Jackie Zabrowski.
Yeah.
With her husband, Jeff Adams.
Yes.
AMC Stubbs represent.
We're all Stubbs family.
Stubbed up,
represent.
dude.
Yeah,
I'm
Stubbs
fucking
family.
so stubby.
But I do think that each one of us, I do find it interesting that each one of our wives refuses to join Stubbs.
Julie's on Stubbs. Your wife is the only one we have to buy tickets for.
She holds out. And I don't know why she won't join.
Hold out. It's why she's never
I have
invited
to use
the
all
movies.
my $5 points whenever she comes to the movies.
That's what I do as well. It's eating me out of points home.
Oh, it's eating you out of points, huh? Sounds pretty great.
Hell yeah.
You're disgusting.
No,
I'm
she's-
sorry.
I think
No
you're
sexual on this. I'm not
sexual.
sexual.
Today
You can
we
be
are
sexual.
I think that
Okay.
No, please don't.
Let me slide right in.
I'm like 25% of the show, so a quarter of the time you could be sexual.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, that's very
Okay.
interesting.
I know percentages.
So we want to talk about movies because we love movies. We're interested in. I feel that we hold the torch for many people that are into horror films, especially independent horror films. It seems like this is the perfect time for it. And the summertime is my favorite time to watch horror movies, even more so
Yes.
than the Halloween season.
Yes, Summerween, baby.
I love it during this because you know what?
Because they slide right in there under the radar all the time.
All the time, and they a lot of times they are summer movie fair, which I do love. I also think on Halloween, it's one of those where I think that we're on the clock on Halloween
You've
because
got to get them in.
we're spooky people.
Yes.
I've never done 30.
Well, 31 for 31 we're doing this year.
Oh, we
I've
do
never
it.
even done 30.
Oh man, we do the 31 for 31 every year, and it's just such a race to the end.
Can we put the Saw franchise in? Because I've never seen any of them.
Love, you should because they're funny. They range in quality from shit to not so shit.
Highly recommend every year adding in a franchise
We
into
always
your
do.
31 for 31. It really
Yeah.
it's changed the game.
We always choose one franchise and we watch it from nuts to ass. Where we go.
Leprechaun was a choice.
Well, Leprechaun I'm more excited for than Saw. Saw looks so bad to me.
You know what you'd
Yeah,
like
it's
about
fun
Saw?
bad.
I feel like the first one is a very genuine torture film, torture
Yes.
porn
Carrie
film,
Elways.
and he's great in it.
Yes.
It's a great movie, but the lore that gets built, I feel like honestly,
And Morgan Freeman's in it too, right?
no, that's you're thinking of The Bone Collector.
Wow.
I believe you're
No,
thinking
Denzel's in The Bone Collector.
of God, George. What is he in? No, Morgan Freeman doesn't do that many horror films. Yeah, he did Dreamcatcher. He did The Ritual Killer. Yeah, he's not in any of these.
last year.
Yeah, he's not in any of these films.
Killer.
Kiss the Girls.
Kiss the Girls, again, ancient film.
And also, that's not a horror movie.
No, it's a hit
thriller
horror. It's
horror.
a thriller. This is
Also,
one thing you have to
very
understand.
big difference between thrillers and horror.
Distinctly a massive difference
but
between
sometimes
thriller and horror.
they're cousins or buddies.
Oh, yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
it could
They
be a
can be in
horror and a thriller.
Long Legs.
Yes.
I don't know was Longlegs a horror film.
It is a thriller.
It's
I think it's
supernatural.
more of a thriller.
Yeah, well, now we know that it's supernatural. I'm just going to say this straight up. There's going to be
A couple of little spoilers.
little spoilers. People already
Nothing
got mad
crazy.
slightly with our long legs coverage because I forgot to put on my long legs. Oh,
Wait, are you
you
talking
have to
about?
put your arms over
Are
your
you
head.
talking about the movie with Hunter Schafer, Cuckoo?
Cuckoo. No,
Because
that's a different
that
Cuckoo.
movie is also coming out this year.
I'm excited for that.
Cuckoo.
No, we're talking about
Is that what you're doing?
that's long legs.
Cuckoo.
You've seen long legs.
I've seen Longlegs.
You don't remember the scene when he does the cuckoo hand motion?
No, I was remembering another scene, but I'm trying not to spoil it.
You pee-pee?
Yeah, I'm pee-peed in my body
But the reason why you'd like Saw is that I think you'd like it, the lore that gets built out. Saw 2, in my opinion, is the weakest of the entire franchise because it's the worst of them. And then it's like, you would say
the movie Seven.
That's what he
Seven
was
is what-
thinking of.
yes.
That's what you were thinking of.
yes,
you were
Morgan
thinking of
Freeman.
Seven.
I mean, seven. I know 7. I wasn't thinking of 7.
I think he was thinking of Kiss the Girls for some reason.
Because honestly, I feel like those movies in that time period stand out in our brains because of going to Blockbuster and going to Hollywood Video. Like, I feel like
Yes.
I remember the VHSs. I bring up The Dentist 2
It was Danny
all
Glover.
the time.
And Saw.
Saw, yes, he was in the
Saw.
newest Saw.
That was my mistake.
Yes.
Saw.
he was
Does that
in-
make
Yes.
me bad man?
No.
No,
I think it's okay. They're
it's
all
allowed.
old.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of them.
They're
Yeah.
just old.
Yeah. It was Danny Glover, not Morgan Freeman. And Saw.
I'm glad we cleared it up. All right,
Thank
but you
you.
should try it. But what you were saying is true.
Who directed Saw 2? Was it James
That's what I
2?
was saying. Cameron Boogaloo?
It had to be, right? Because the first Saw was directed by who?
James 1.
Yeah. And the second one,
See, that provides a good transition.
Is that what happens here? It's
Yes.
this kind of humor? Here?
Sometimes
All right,
it
I
does.
like
Sometimes
it.
we allow it. Sometimes it stands. Sometimes it's stricken from the record.
25% sexuality. I
Yes.
get it.
I don't listen, so I don't know what jokes are cut.
Hey, that's how you keep yourself safe.
Yes.
But what I wanted to do today was because there's a lot of new films out there. We talked about some old films. With my favorite time period to watch horror movies is when everybody else is not watching them. I do think it is interesting when we went to go see
the
Long
morning?
Legs. Yes, but I'm talking the summertime versus Halloween. Like I
okay.
like doing it the rest of the year. When we went to Long Legs, we were the only ones laughing.
Oh, yeah. It was very funny. And I will say, though, for
Why
me,
do people laugh more at horror films?
I laugh as I'm excited.
Me too.
Yes.
Like more than it's not even I find it funny. I laugh because it's like wild.
Especially good kills. Like there are certain kills that I got to celebrate while watching it in the theater. It's one of my favorite parts about going to the movie theater. Not a horror film, but I did just go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
I saw it
And
too.
While I don't care, it's fun to see it in a big theater filled with people because everyone's woohooing,
Yeah.
not like The Sims.
Great
Movies are
kills.
meant for the goddamn theater. And I mean it. They're meant for the theater. You're not supposed to be watching them on your phone. If you're watching them on your phone, what are we doing here? All right? I get
Shouldn't.
angry. Me and David Lynch. All right? I will fight back to back, Robin style. I will be the gay Robin.
Reality
to David
television
Lynch.
is meant for your phone.
Yes, and YouTube videos and
Yeah.
and us.
Yes,
We're
for sure.
meant for your phone, not a big time film. It makes me crazy when you watch somebody watch an old film. There's so much work. I feel like that's also the binge model in general that has sort of fucked with the artists and audience's relationship, which is just this concept of media is meant to be consumed as fast and as large of a pile as possible, and that makes you sort of forget how many hundreds and thousands of hours of expertise go into making these things, and so eventually you're just like, more stuff. Well,
That's
yeah.
why I think 80s and 90s horror movies, yes, they were great, but I think they're more romanticized because we rewatched them 100 times.
We'll also think about how at the time period, Jurassic Park was viewed as like summer schlock. Now we know that movie is a classic of American cinema. But
I don't know. It was pretty huge when it came out.
It was, but it was viewed as like there were Oscar
Blockbuster,
movies
right.
and there were blockbusters.
It was nominated for Oscars.
But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I think Jurassic Park 2, but I think you can't talk bad about Jurassic Park 1
I'm
like
not,
that.
Eddie,
People
I'm not,
knew that how good it was.
I knew he's immediately
He's
got
very
emotional.
upset. I'm so scared
Jurassic
of
Park
him.
1 is a very good movie,
It's
and
a
everyone
very
knew
good
it.
movie. But
I'm
it's
not
not an
shitting on
Oscar.
it.
It wasn't-
I'm not shitting.
I think it
at
won
the
an Oscar.
time, it wasn't.
But it
I'm
wasn't
just
branded as one.
I'm just saying the concept of there used to be, those were considered to be dumb shit genre films. Like even those were a big deal, but they were not considered the big important fancy ass movies that were on Oscar caliber, and the dramas and the tiny like little drawing rooms. You remember with the piano used to like win all the Oscars, that shitty Holly Hunter movie
Yeah,
where she's
the-
deaf
oh, yeah.
or whatever, she's something.
Well, do you know
sad.
that Jurassic Park came out the same year as Schindler's List?
I know.
So he ran the gamut that
Rough
year.
year.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
But great for him.
Yeah.
But Schindler's List was a beautiful piece of this crazy piece of telling art. Probably going to go down as Spielberg's best movie.
I don't know. Jurassic Park's pretty great.
Well,
What
I
about
still
that movie
feel
about
Schindler's List
his-
is in his top 5.
I think
Yeah.
Schindler's List. I think Jaws is better than Jurassic Park.
I think Jaws is is his best movie. I think Jaws is
I
the
could put that
greatest
there.
summer horror movie that ever was.
I could put it there. I'd also put Jaws somewhere in the thriller category.
Thriller. It's an animal kill movie. Those are horror movies.
But I view that more as a thriller.
I think it's more of a thriller.
What about like Grizzly? Do you consider that a thriller or
Yes.
a horror
Yes.
movie?
Thriller.
Really?
Thriller,
Yeah.
horror-based thriller,
Thriller.
yes. See,
What?
to me, a true horror film is
Fuck
something
you.
like... He's very upset today.
Hold on, no, but this is crazy talk.
getting a lot of anger.
What
I
about
feel
Crawl?
and
You think
we're
Crawl's
usually-
not a
it's
horror
thriller.
movie?
It's definitely a thriller.
I
but
view it, but that's for me.
It's
I
for
view it
us.
as that.
It's just our opinion.
In terms of animal-based movies, I think, well, it's a monster film. Why so angry?
So upset, and it's just like we're not
If
angry
you
today.
go
This
to
is big.
Blockbuster Video
Why?
and
Yeah,
you
because
go
they
to
have to
where is
simplify,
Jaws going
right?
to be? What section is it going to be in?
I put it in the
into the
classic
thriller.
films category, action adventure.
It's not going to be there, though. You're going to have to keep walking around and look for it because it's in the horror section.
I just don't understand why he's getting so.
See, I view a traditional capital H horror film something that it's certain elements. First example, In a Violent Nature.
horror film.
Just finished it. Fucking awesome.
It's great.
There's sequel coming.
Hey, but I
Yes.
do think that what they're we saw that announcement in SDCC. But I think that what's interesting is it's this new thing that we're seeing in horror recently, which is the artified version of what you could call hacky genres within horror.
and this could have been
yeah.
just a run-of-the-mill slasher film.
Because slasher films.
Well, is this a horror movie or an anti-fireman movie?
This is a horror film.
Sometimes they are
because
one and the same.
I believe a horror film has a fantastical edge to it that is not in reality based. Like there's something about it that bumps it up to past drama, past thriller. I think a serial killer film largely would be considered a thriller. Longlegs teeters on the thriller horror because of the supernatural element.
And Zodiac, you think, is like a thriller.
That's a thriller, but also I dare say I feel that a horror is more based on the idea of like it's about the kills rather than about the story.
The story.
Okay.
And I really
Okay.
think about that in that way because like Hereditary is at its core. I think Hereditary will be labeled that one of the biggest, probably the best horror films of the 2000s.
It's probably the best one I've seen in the last 10 years.
so good.
It edges up my top 10 films of all time.
Yes.
All the time. I watch Hereditary for fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that movie. But there is something about that movie at the very base of it is it's a horror because of the supernatural elements, but what elevates it is the fact that it's also a platinum tier drama. So you have the both. Like you have this, it's like what The
Well,
Exorcist
that's a type of
nails.
horror movie.
Yes. Right.
Is drama.
Or the art, like, because then this is probably edging into the art horror, where like In a Violent Nature takes the slasher tropes and plays it out in a very slow build. But what I loved about In a Violent Nature is that much like Behind the Mask, which is a great mockumentary / horror movie that needs to come out, which is about basically Behind the Mask is awesome. It's a mockumentary about a Jason Voorhees type killer and his like it's like talking with this killer
To find out how he prepares as
Does
a
he
killer.
talk?
Yes.
Yes.
He's funny. He's like funny in it. It's closer to Man Bites Dog.
It's
No,
fun.
It's
no,
stuff
no.
like
He's like
that?
a funny. He's like a
No.
normal guy.
Oh, okay.
That does this thing. But this story, like In a Violent Nature, I love that it's from the killer's perspective because you never see it from the
I
killer's
think
perspective.
he's in almost every shot of the film.
Yes, and I love that it's a stunt man's movie.
Yes.
It's the Kane Hodder, right? Like Kane Hodder, what's like when they developed Jason Voorhees, when they developed Michael Myers, they wanted it to have dread without a lot of lines because they just had stuntmen doing it. But they learned how to do it with their bodies. It's like this, like it's a character creature acting thing that is such a niche world of fantastic performers that you never see. Like what's his name from Pan's Labyrinth? Super skinny.
I don't know.
Oh yes,
the guy with the
guy.
eyeball
Yes.
hands?
Yeah,
Eyeball
yeah.
hands.
He's eyeball hands. He's also the fish man.
He's
also
great.
Who's that guy? Skinny guy.
I don't know his name. I never learned it. Can I be honest? I don't know.
You know he's got.
Whoa.
You know he's packing.
Of course.
He's super
all
skinny.
Those, all
and tall.
those tall,
you know
skinny
he's
guys are
big into
packing.
Doug
Jones.
Jones, also from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Doug Jones does look like a long-dicked dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know
Long
he's
and
packing.
thin.
But you
Yeah.
have to get rid of the you'd have to get through the kissing of the corpse face, which I do feel that most of his fans would be definitely into.
Oh, no,
yeah.
You.
I don't think he has a problem getting laid.
No. There are
no.
many haunted girls that have sex with that man.
Yeah, dude.
Women.
Also, I mean, he as a fish, he was fucking.
He was, but I still think.
Not into gills. Not. I'm not. I'm
Did
a
you guys
monster
not like
fucker.
Shape of Water?
No.
I
I
think it
just
was
don't want to
incredible.
bang Shape of Water. I just don't want to bang the fish man.
I'm going to be honest. I fell asleep.
You fell asleep. You got to wake up.
Shape of Water.
Well, you watch it again.
I fell
Michael
asleep.
Shannon's incredible.
I know. He is great villain in that movie, but I did unfortunately fall asleep. I'm looking at now Chris Nash, who made In a Violent Nature. This is a new young, this guy, he was an actor turned director.
Okay.
And but how do we feel about this? Have you guys seen Ghost Story with Mara Rooney?
I refuse to
believe
watch it.
Insanely enough, we were just talking about not that long ago watching it. I've never seen it.
So my issue
It's on my review. He wears a sheet.
I was worried it was too sad, and I wanted it to be scary, and I didn't want it to be sad.
when I went to go see it with Natalie and I are I'm both generous and deeply Rooney Mara. I'm deeply, I make my decisions sharp and like a knife, I cut him off, right? If I don't like something, I shut it off or I walk out, right? If I don't like something, all right, a lot of times I don't give it a
You
shot.
don't let it breathe.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go, no.
Yeah.
Right? And we went to go see a Ghost Story in the theater. And we both hated it so much. We left so quickly. We left. It was like I remember the moment we left.
You walked
This is a
out before
spoiler.
it was over?
Yes. This is the spoiler.
Not
We
for
le-
the end, of course.
No. The spoiler is the reason why we left was the 10-minute long she eats the pie scene. And we were like, this.
Was it sexy?
No, we all have to sit and watch this shit and act like, oh, whoa, what a shame. It's just like she had to do this shameful thing. It's because Rooney Mara hasn't had more than a quinoa salad in her stomach for fucking 10, 15
hungry.
years.
Why are you taking
And
this
so
away from
we all
her?
have to watch her eat this pie. We're like, oh, she's grieving. Just being like, I do that on a fucking Thursday.
You eat a whole pie on
I
Thursdays?
can. I do that
proud of
on
you.
fucking Thursday.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, I guess that's what it was. It's about the grief of watching from a ghost perspective, watching someone grieve.
You
But
don't like sad movies, though.
But
I love sad movies.
I'm
love
getting
sad
more
movies.
into
We
sad
get it.
movies. But my thing is, you got a ghost there, dude. Play some tricks. If there's a ghost in a film with the sheet on,
You wanted
and
him
she's
to
in it,
Beetlejuice it up?
He does.
sorta, but like in a
that movie.
romantic way. Yes, people love the movie.
I love it. A lot
That's
of people do
controver-
like it.
People love that movie, but I think it's because, and I'm not saying this wrong. I'm not saying this to challenge you,
I'm
Rob.
scared to be sad.
I am scared to be sad, but I think that sometimes people are fooled by an artistic interpretation of a story. I think something like Skinamarink.
I mean, I'd rather puke on my own shit than watch Skinamarink
love it.
down.
I
We have
love it.
friends that made it, and I'm sorry. I love that you
I don't
made
know
a film.
them
And here's the thing,
personally.
and I like Skrunk. I liked it. I like Skinamarink. Fucking come at me, bros. I know
Skinamarink-
why you hate it, but I liked
Skinamarink
it.
was the
I've
movie
had
equivalent.
my dreams last night were more entertaining.
It was the movie equivalent of putting 4 dice in a paper bag and just rolling it around.
were trying something, and I think that
was the
I
movie
don't even think
equivalent.
they were trying anything.
There was nothing to try.
I think both of you just gave up. I think you decided you
watched
didn't
the
like the
entire
movie.
movie.
I've watched it 3 times.
Why did you watch it 3 times?
Because I needed to prove to myself it was bad.
I liked it.
Because everybody was like, it's brilliant, you don't get it.
It's out of focus.
I tried to watch it 3 times. And guess what? I also did it the 3rd time. I did it the way I was quote unquote supposed to do it. I did this exactly
With the
as you-
subtitles on?
in a hotel room with this is what they told us to do for Skinamarink. Put it on a laptop, put a cover over you and the laptop, and watch it in total darkness like a child.
who told you to do
I
that?
read about
Who's
this on the
telling you?
fucking
I'm not
internet.
telling
Is
you to
that
do
the
this.
only way a movie is good?
No.
It's not a good movie.
Eddie, exactly. You don't need to yell at me. Yes.
I'm just mad. When people talk about Skinamarink, I yell.
You get so mad.
He's all full of it
Really
today.
trash.
He's
Skrunk,
really
getting Skrunk.
good people.
Also, they did the dedicated to before the movie even started.
it's because they had to get it
You
out
gotta
because they
get
knew
good
people
sad.
would leave.
Yes.
But then, did you guys see Immaculate?
I did
you
like
see
it.
Immaculate?
No, I didn't. I want to see it.
The
Okay,
City
so this
Sweeney
is another-
boobies, booby.
So big verdict. Some number 1, In a Violent Nature is the good version of a ghost story, according to here last podcast on the left.
The good version of a ghost story.
That's what we're saying.
It's Friday the 13th.
It's good art horror.
Good
It's a
art
good
horror.
art
There's
horror.
no slasher in Ghost Story.
But it's a horror film because there's a ghost in it.
Ghost Story isn't a horror movie.
It's a ghost story.
It's a love story.
But it's a ghost
I like
story.
that Henry's pointing at me as if I'm on board with this, but I've not seen Ghost Story. And
How do
I
you
don't
feel
know if
about
I'm
What
saying
Lies
this.
Beneath? Is that
I
a
liked
horror
it.
movie or is it a thriller?
Thriller, definitely a thriller.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
a
ghost
thriller.
in it. So go fuck yourself.
I would say it's a thriller cuss horror or a ghost story.
It is definitely a ghost. I think that ghost stories can be in the middle, in between of thrillers and horrors.
think
Is
a ghost-
Ghostbusters a horror movie?
It's a comedy.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a horror comedy. It's a comedy with horror elements.
I guess so.
But the reason why the original Ghostbusters work so well is because it's told straight. The whole point is that they are
better than them gay Ghostbusters because I watched that at night.
honestly, I wish they were sucking and fucking.
God, I'd love it.
But at least they do the work because Dan Aykroyd knows all of the actual paranormal concepts and wrote it from the perspective of it's more of a play on blue collar workers. Like if you rewatch Ghostbusters and understand it's making fun of this concept of blue collar workers in an intellectual space, trying to nail this and then handling something that's way beyond them. You know, which I love. I love that movie. That's why I like that movie. So for summer 2024
nature
films,
is though it's like a Jason or a Michael Myers.
Yes, it's an arty version of it. It's a new.
I guess so. The
retelling.
dialogue was still stupid.
Yes,
But that
they
was
did
the
it on.
point of it.
It's a play up of it.
Yeah,
in
there's plenty of
my
people
view.
smoking weed. There's no boobies though.
No, which also again it was like what a waste.
But the kills
We're doing a
were
slasher.
delightful.
That's the thing. So in a violent nature, great kills. Where's the tits?
I think that we've grown past tits in horror movies.
That's not true. That's not true. There are boobies other places.
Again, Immaculate. I'm bringing up Immaculate again.
Immaculate had boobies?
Well, it doesn't
No,
show.
well, it's got Sydney Sweeney. All I see is her boobies.
She's chesty, but she doesn't show them.
No, she doesn't show them, but honestly, real sexy because she's still like a wet nun.
She's a wet nun.
God, see,
you're
that's
seeing-
awesome.
That's when Babo, you see them like the big old nasties wet underneath her
And
nuns.
I am
hang
not
out.
saying anything about this movie other than the fact that it's the only film we'll talk about today in which the ending moments make up for the rest of the
entire
film.
movie.
Yes.
It makes
Really?
the entire movie.
See, that's my problem with horror movies in general, including Long Legs,
Is
is
the
the
endings.
endings
Yes.
are usually horrible.
I went to go see it again after watching it the first time because the entire time I was like, I thought this was going to be good and I don't really
Well, it's
like
'cause
it as much.
she's one of those-
Because she's real easy to look at.
Right.
Yeah.
She's very, but she's got nothing
Going on. No.
Really?
She's
I don't know much about her. I just know that she's incredibly popular and has big boobs.
All I know is,
I mean, that's what you need to know.
in terms of like the idea of sexuality driving performances, I went to go see, what was that Kristen Stewart? I saw that movie, The Love Lies Bleeding.
Was that good?
Yes.
It looks awesome.
Yes.
Well, so that's the thing, right? I watched that movie and I was like, this movie is liquid evil sex. I love everything
But it's a
about this
crime
movie.
thriller.
Yes.
Yeah, but it made me start working out. Like watching that movie got me so turned on that I was
Really?
like, should we all be working out?
But there was something about it where it's like, see, this is sexy. So why is this sexy? But then you have big boobied, wet ass nun Sydney Sweeney talking like a parrot to a bunch of people. And I was like, this is not sensual. I do not find this sensual. She's supposed to be playing this.
She's a nun.
Yeah, she's a nun.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was sexual.
I always think it's funny
too.
too when they have ladies like that play nuns.
I know, it's like,
You know,
oh,
it's
she
like-
shouldn't. They
like-
even say it right up top there. He goes, you're too pretty to be a nun.
Because
And
they
it's like,
have
yeah,
to.
Of course. Yeah,
They
because
have
she's
to
way
say
too
it.
hot to be a nun.
Yeah, and then she's talking
Someone's
to
going to try and fuck you.
and she's talking to some other homely, quote unquote, the homely nun that's another supermodel.
Just so hot.
Like
Just
all
hot
these
nuns.
women have shaved legs, shaved armpits,
yeah.
shaved, like definitely not walking around with a Tom Selleck mustache, definitely not covered in muck from pulling water out of a bullshit ravine. You know what I mean? Like that's all nuns are. They're big, musty, gross, like mop women.
Oh,
and
yeah.
meanwhile, it's all just played by models. That's what always takes me out. And that's kind of what I like. That's what I admire about Russell Crowe. And his
Wow.
last two Exorcist
Wow.
films.
Are they related to each other or are they
No.
separate?
They are not only not related. The Pope's Exorcist and The Exorcist can both
Exorcism.
be... The Exorcism
Yes.
can both be entirely skipped. One
Yes.
is him playing
Also,
this
the last Exorcist movie could be entirely skipped.
entirely skipped. These guys are like, but these two guys are fucking so funny. Russell Crowe playing the Pope's Exorcist, super cool, ultimate exorcist of all exorcists. Then he's in The Exorcism. He's playing a dumpy actor playing an exorcist in a film.
exorcist.
Oh, okay.
And it's just so funny to watch him try to play dumpy actor Russell Crowe.
Because he's just playing himself.
It's just Russell Crowe, and you see these scenes with him trying to rehearse his lines.
Yeah.
We're being like, "Out, damn you! Out, demon! You will listen to me." Meanwhile, he's doing the same exact lines, but for serious
in The Pope's Exorcist, and he's bad at both.
I even went to go see Madame Web in the movie theater, and I still chose to not see either The Pope's Exorcist or The Exorcism.
Is the exorcism out?
Oh, yeah, it's on VOD.
Oh, yeah.
I completed more of Madame Web than I did both The Pope's Exorcist and The Exorcism. I unfortunately, though, we are sort of like, we are biased in our home because Natalie is not a Russell Crowe fan. So I am a Russell Crowe fan.
Oh, man, did you see Unhinged?
No, it's supposed to be good,
It's
though, right?
really good.
Yeah?
It's really good.
He does the Nick Cage thing where he'll do like
He's scary,
one good
and he's
movie.
big.
Yeah, he ain't getting any smaller.
Man.
No.
And in
He likes
Unhinged,
it.
he's like they had him put on weight. Or they didn't make him lose any. One or the other.
He came forward in an interview. Did you not hear this? He came forward in an interview being like, I'm done taking care of myself.
Yeah.
He's literally just done with it.
That's great.
I was like, all right, as long as you're all,
He
he's
did
just
it.
like,
You
it's
know?
like, I'm not getting fit for these shits anymore. I'm playing
Hell yeah.
fat characters or characters that you're just gonna have to not act like I'm too large for this. He was like, what's this? Because he did my favorite was the score. Oh, when he did the Sorcerer's Apprentice. No, that was Nick Cage.
That was Nick Cage. How
was
was that? I never watched that.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Because it's Nick Cage.
I know Disney is like trying to pretend like it doesn't exist.
Nick Cage just a little too out of shape to be playing a man who kills evil sorcerers for a living. And it's very funny because it's him in a wig and tight. He makes armor look tight. Both of them do the same thing in these films, and like that's why I like. But I like it. It's like he's decided he's doing this thing, but it is limiting his range as an actor. I think in a way.
I don't think he cares anymore.
No. But he was upset when they asked him about Gladiator 2, and he's just like, I'm never going to talk about this movie because obviously, look at him. He wasn't asked to be a part of Gladiator 2.
He's dead.
That's the thing. But I guess they expected him. I'm going to assume he
Flashbacks.
wanted to do flashbacks. But again, that is not. He can never
How
go
could he
back
do
to
a
being Maximus.
flashback?
You're never going to be Maximus ever again.
You
bro.
died when
Sorry.
you were at your hottest.
Yes, you are not gonna be looking like a younger version of Maximus. Sorry,
Yeah.
bro.
Also, Gladiator 2 is everyone's dead.
Everybody's dead. Yeah.
What's
Yeah, it's
the
supposed to
point of
be-
that fucking movie?
I don't know. I think
Years
it takes
later.
place. Does it? Or isn't the guy playing Zap
What do you mean?
from the American Gladiators?
See, that'd be fun.
See, that would be fun.
Yeah.
If it turns out Zap was the great grandson of Maximus.
Put him on a
All right.
rhinoceros.
All right, so we're
Yeah, I
saying
said
Long Legs,
rhinoceros.
watch it.
Yes, Long Legs was really
Violent
fun.
Nature, watch it.
Watch
really
it.
fun.
I watched Abigail last night. Have you guys seen that?
I
a
liked
really
Abigail.
fun. I view
I
that
really
as
liked
a
Abigail.
horror action film.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. It was
Yes.
definitely, they stole a lot from Dusk Till Dawn
Yes. But
they
and
were-
like Bordello of Blood.
They're really
and
doing that. They-
Demon Knight. It's very similar
They
to those
even make
movies.
jokes in it that like they are taking from other vampire franchises.
Can I
in it.
ask though?
I thought it was trash.
What?
Abigail.
I thought it was a popcorn film.
It's fun.
It's a
I thought it
throwaway
was going to be
film.
cooler than it was. The trailer was great.
Can I ask? At
What did
one
you like
point,
about it?
But like, hey,
I
listen.
that was stupid.
But in the beginning, when I asked,
Yeah, it's supposed to be stupid.
I'm asking a question to both of you.
Okay, crap. I made Jackie upset.
Now, how do we feel about this constant need to be meta? Like this idea that each one of these films we've even brought up has had a knowing wink to the genre that they're in. And it's like, at some point, when will the knowing winks be run out? Like
Well, Deadpool kind of ruined it.
Well, Deadpool and Wolverine, but wasn't that sort of, I haven't seen it yet, but isn't that like, we're
Apparently
saying
that's
nothing
in
about
the
it.
comments too.
But that's
In the
point,
comics.
right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the point? Yeah,
It's
Deadpool
very meta, yes.
is meta, but isn't the point of Deadpool and Wolverine like he's making fun of every single part of the Marvel
Yes.
lexicon, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Which is awesome, but where do we go from here? Like, can every single movie constantly just be a commentary on the quote-unquote genre of the movie that it's in?
But I think that's why there are other movies that are trying to flip the script, and that's why I only like movies that are trying something new and different. I don't
Which is
only
so
like those
hard to
movies.
do because movies have been happening for 150
Exactly.
years.
Which is why you think of Skrunk, you think of Skinamarink, and why so many people hate it. And I understand why you do.
Stinkamarink.
But it was trying something, and there's going to be a lot of flops
They
in the
literally
trying
could have
something.
just like put the camera in a room and walked away, and that would have been the whole movie.
Well, the thing is that it's about how you pitch it, right? So I view like
I'm going to shoot the corner of the room, and then nothing's going to happen, and then a phone's going to ring.
You ever seen Cassavetes? Any Cassavetes films?
But there's a plot.
Well, there's also
faces. There's dialogue.
At the time period too, it was a play upon genre, and it was a play upon movie making on the whole, and trying to create this sort of like hole in the wall, fly in the wall sort of characteristic, like especially like in The Killing of a Chinese Bookie, and a couple of things where you're supposed to sort of like. That's the artful way of doing it. Like there's an artful way and an intentional way of doing certain things that if you're constantly searching for novelty, you're eventually going to lose the aspect. I feel like on some level, if you're constantly being like, what's new, what's new, what's new,
but there's always new stories to be told. I just went to go see Oddity, and I knew nothing about Oddity. I went in completely blind, didn't even see a trailer for it, and I loved it. It was definitely, but here's the thing. It had the sprinklings of stories that, of course, horror movies that we are all familiar with, but it was doing it in its own way. And I liked
Which one
what
is
it
this
did.
film?
Oddity is the person that made Caveat. I forget.
I liked Caveat.
A psychic medium attempts to uncover the truth behind her sister's murder at the site of the crime.
Damian McCarthy. So it's just a creep. It's got a lot of creepy imagery a part of it. And again, not like retelling the game, but it was something that at least I saw that hit me and had good jump scares and creeped me out in ways that I wasn't expecting.
His other movie was Caveat. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. But all I knew is that he's an indie horror dude, and I knew
that's
that
where
I dug
independent film is
Caveat.
fucking crushing it
Yes,
right now.
Oddity was great. It creeped me the hell out.
I think now is the time. I think people don't know 100%, but we are, I think, I'm calling it, is we are entering another golden age of independent horror. It happened in the 70s, it happened in the 90s, and it's just like, it's because of everything that happened with the strikes, and studios aren't making shit anymore, and so this
Cheaper
independent
stuff.
films are going to start coming in, and that always leans on horror.
Right now, we are seeing a massive change in the direction of a lot of these production companies. And I think that we're going to see it's going to get worse before it gets better. But I think that we already kind of came through a big golden age in the 2010s of independent horror. That's where Hereditary came from. It follows like that first wave of that like new like art house horror. And I think that we're watching it play out because we're watching it now start to get the attention of the main line of Hollywood, which, to be honest, right now, we shouldn't trust them because they've been fucking it all up. And I don't know whether or not they are going to. I don't know if we're going to. I think that we're seeing
That's
in
what I was gonna bring up.
the 2030s.
I saw the TV.
It's going to
glow.
be like the 1970s again. You know what I mean? Right now, we're in the middle of a really shitty correction period while we're going to see a bunch more massive failures while slowly but surely, because we're not fully back as an independent cinema world until we've got popular independent dramas, independent comedies, and independent other films outside of just horror. Horror is like a great way to make money, but right now it has to be across the board. We got to take a $250 million movie, and we got to figure out how do we break that back up into 20 fucking $25 million movies. That's what it should be.
Well, also, a lot of these movies, everyone complains about running time, and then every movie we go see that's $300 million is 2.5 hours minimum.
Because they feel forced to make them that long because of how much money that they're spending on them.
The thing with Indiana Jones, the most recent Indiana Jones 5, I thought it was fine.
It's fine.
But if you would have it was 3 hours long pretty much. If you would have taken an hour out of that movie,
much better film.
Everybody would have loved it more. Yeah. You would have saved $100 million theoretically if it's $300 million to make.
Yep.
So what are they fucking doing?
It's because it's egos, buddy.
It doesn't need to be that long.
That's just how this is.
Beau was Afraid needed to be that long.
I loved Beau was Afraid. I could have watched 3 more hours of it.
God, it's so good.
I love Beau was Afraid. Did you see A Quiet Place Day 1?
I did.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It's fine.
It wasn't fine.
Well,
it
let's
was
just let's
It was
get
pretty
to.
bad. You're right.
It's
I was
fine.
being
It's
nice.
fine. All right, cool. Because it was that one I didn't
I did
see.
ads for it, so I had to say it was fine.
God.
Yes, please.
No.
Yes, so we do have to say that
I'm
it was
sorry.
fine.
Yeah, it was great. I saw the TV Glow is the one, the other indie one that I wanted
was
to
that
bring
good?
up.
Manny, our friend, worked on all the visual aspects. for it.
Really,
really?
enjoyed
It was
it.
a very interesting film.
I saw the TV Glow from the creator of We're All Going to the World's Fair, which
Which
one.
also very good.
It was also one of those ones that I expected it to be. Like, I don't know if I necessarily loved We're All Going to the World's Fair, but I liked that it was like, all right, well, it's certainly something different
It
that
was
I hadn't
something-
seen.
it was very, very
And
something
same
different.
With I saw the TV Glow, where it's surreal.
It's a new
it's
thing.
cerebral.
Okay.
It's like a different kind of horror.
Yes, I liked it. It's very atmospheric. It is
I like
very,
the
very interesting.
neons.
It's a lot of, we're getting practical effects back in a big way.
Yeah.
Other two movies I think to look out for this year was stop motion because of that.
That looks very cool.
It's fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
And the
Because what
other-
is that? Yeah, stop motion animation.
And the other one, Jackie, that I sent to you, and I forgot to mention up top, but is a must watch.
Beetlejuice?
No.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to Beetlejuice. I haven't seen it. I'm waiting on Beetlejuice to see it.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
to
I'm
see
going to see it.
It
Of
already
course. I'm gonna see it.
unfortunately, as an elder millennial, it has my money already.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go see it, even though I'm so afraid. Like, I'm literally gonna I'm gonna eat 3 beta blockers before going to see it. I'm just gonna try
Well,
to
then you
feel
don't even have a
nothing.
choice.
I'm
of
just going to
liking it.
try to feel nothing while watching it so that I don't feel the negative energies that I might feel. So that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to protect myself against my own just watching it. I'm going to protect myself because it doesn't. It's not looking great.
You
but
got to give yourself over. You got to
I'm
open
gonna
up your
see it.
heart.
I think it looks
Henry.
fine.
But the movie to see is The Devil's
You
Bath.
bringing up Devil's Bath, baby.
The Devil's Bath,
Devil's
I think,
Bath.
is the
Yeah.
sneaker.
I don't know this one.
It's atmospheric. It's fucked.
It's folk horror. I think it depends on. I feel like if you love Hagazusa,
If you love,
you're gonna love the Devil's Bath.
Such
And
a funny idea.
I understand.
For the lovers of Hagazusa.
Because I love Hagazusa.
Both of us love Hagazusa.
Oh, it's a foreign film.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's always a good sign.
Set in 1750, you know it's a good year, babes.
But it goes real. I honestly love it. It goes.
Give
It's
the
beautifully
pitch
made.
of what it's about. When you pitched it to me, I was just like, oh, I am there. Explaining to me about like just the idea of back in the day that they would like obviously everybody's life was horrible, but you couldn't kill yourself because then
You'd be damned to hell.
You'd be damned to hell. So they would have this roundabout way of killing themselves by committing an atrocious act and then going to the sheriff and saying, I did this,
And
put
they-
me to death.
and they kill you on the
And
spot.
but they will absolve you of your guilt
That's what it is.
before they put you to execution. So you will still go to heaven. So it's like a roundabout way of killing yourself.
So
That's why the Protestants never trust the Catholics because they could just go to confession and
Get
then
on out.
Get on out, exactly.
boom, done. But this story is really interesting because it's both a horror film because there is horror in it and there's horror somewhat vaguely supernatural elements, but it's also an old-timey true crime story because it's about this concept of this type of
seems like more of
suicide.
a drama
Yeah,
than,
it
than a
is.
horror.
But it plays into this idea of what's wrong with this woman, and it's mostly just, man, you know what's scary? What happens inside the uterus?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
Being
that's
a
all-
woman is scary.
That is
Yeah.
what's
Oh,
scary.
Lord knows.
Especially 1750.
There
Not
was-
a lot of ladies were having a good time.
It's definitely in the realm of the witch. So
Yeah.
and Midsommar, which
Okay,
is great.
I'm
But
in for that.
But the Devil's Bath's great, and it's slow paced. You're gonna love it, Eddie. It is exactly what you like.
You know what I liked about Midsummer and Most Violent in a Violent Nature? All the daytime killings.
Love the daytime
Yes.
killings.
Yes.
Love the daytime
Yes.
killings. And I feel like I'm trying to think. Is there any other ones?
Maxine, we all saw it together.
We loved it.
I liked it a lot.
we loved it.
As time goes on, I like it more and more.
Yes.
Same.
It was super silly for
Yes.
sure, but and the ending was like jump the shark.
And well, it went more. It went thriller.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the fucking hell out of it.
Yeah.
I found Maxine to be really, really interesting because Ty West I love him as a director. I think that Pearl was like truly one of his biggest artistic successes of all time.
That was my least favorite of the three.
Well, I can understand, but as a person who's just like in Jackie's realm of the anything but bore me, I was like, that's something new.
It's something
I've
new.
never seen
Exactly.
this story before like this, and it was interesting. Maxine shows Ty West puts on his Brian De Palma hat and tries to make a Brian De Palma film, but it kind of shows just how good Brian De Palma was. Like Maxine actually just made me want to go back and watch a bunch more Brian De Palma, which I do, and I loved Maxine for that. But you guys, if you haven't checked out, like, there's a couple. There's one that was The Fury. The Fury is a very, very interesting film.
I don't know
that he did. The Fury is a psychic movie. It's a psychic thriller that Brian De Palma did from back in the day.
Oh, cool.
This is with Kirk Douglas. Ooh. And he does that. You tell me you get your hands away from my daughter. Like I love Kirk Douglas. He also did Raising Cain.
I love Raising Cain.
Raising Cain is
Brian
a movie.
De Palma's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Casualties of War, Scarface.
And have you ever seen Sisters?
Sisters? No.
Sisters is weird.
Yeah. I've seen Sisters Brothers, which I really like. It's a Western.
Yeah, we're right here, Eddie.
Yes.
And also Dressed to Kill, one of the most interesting thrillers of all time.
Oh, yes. What do you guys think about Alien Romulus? Are you excited or not?
Yes.
Very excited.
The reason why
Sci-fi or horror?
Sci-fi horror.
Sci-fi horror.
Sci-fi horror. But also, this one is supposed to be, at least what they're saying, is that like they were shooting for as close to the original, like
That's what it looks like.
feel of the original.
It's going horror. They're shooting for horror.
Yeah.
The first one is definitely horror, and it goes more sci-fi as to me, Alien.
Just watching that alien thing fuck that guy's throat every time at the theater.
every time.
Everyone's squirming.
I cannot
sticking its weird dick thing in his throat.
Again, like I do wish there'd be less franchise reboots, but hey,
If you're
with
gonna,
Alien,
the
I'll
Xenomorph
rewatch
is nothing cooler.
No, I love it, and I'll watch the whole thing. I've watched every one of the AVPs. I love them.
I didn't see the second AVP.
It's all right. It's fun. Those are I give a lot of allowances to those movies because I go for fun.
I'm just mad there was humans in it.
Yeah, it's like but you and I have always talked about this, about how the idea of an AVP with no humans,
no dialogue.
That is exactly what we need one day.
Yeah, well, I also you don't want the reboot kind of thing, but I will say the first Omen actually surprised me this year. I liked it more. I'll go it out like. The Omen franchise, not my favorite franchise.
The first one's cool.
I like the very
good.
The very first one is a classic piece of horror cinema.
Yes, but the first Omen, I definitely went into it thinking like, oh, it's just going to be just shit. And the fact that I actually enjoyed it was
I forgot it in the first Omen.
Right? It was better than I thought it was going to be.
The first Omen is not bad.
Do I have to rewatch the original Omen? Because it's been like 25 years.
No, they flashback. There's like one scene of Gregory Peck in a weird thing where they go like, that's it. That's it. He goes up to it. It doesn't necessarily make sense because of the plot of the original.
No, it doesn't. Don't think about it too hard.
Don't think about it.
Did you all do Watchers?
I have the. Well, I want to say the reason why I'm like, let's be gentle on Watchers because I feel bad when it's
right?
It's a new young director. I know it's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, so it's a nepo baby situation
from the worst dude.
See,
I already got my tickets for Trap, so
me too. God. I'm an M. Night Shyamalan
apologist.
I'm an apologist. I think that
I know it's bad.
I know it's bad, and when he's just one of the single most hit or miss creators for me of all time because I love The Visit. I loved Old.
Trash.
I love
Visit was awful. The Old. I mean, I refuse to watch. The Visit was like one of the last times I was like, he's not going to get me again because that movie was so bad. I was like rooting for the old people.
Well, so
I wanted the children to die.
That's why we liked it.
I'm always rooting for the old people.
That's why we liked
I
it.
always root for the bad guy. It's my favorite. Fuck the bleeds. Fuck 'em.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, man. But the Watchers really, like, I thought, though, that maybe, I was hoping that, all right, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, maybe she'll go completely in a different aspect. Like, she's going to try something completely new.
I think he made most of that movie.
He definitely made it's his
But I mean,
movie.
I don't-
it seems like it's.
Is the dialogue awful? Because then
my
he made
God.
it.
That's
It's
M. Night
so
Shyamalan is not great with the dialogue.
He's awful at
The
it.
main issue is that he's like, they are writing it. It's all done by his production company.
Wait, what was the name of the DJ in old?
Old. Oh, it's like
Was it DJ
Honda
Semivan?
Civic or
Yeah, what was
something.
his
Yeah,
name?
I forget what it was.
DJ, what was his name?
Mid-size sedan.
Mid-size sedan. That was his name. His name was Mid-size Sedan.
I loved Old Man.
Oh, they just become. We would yell "oh" at the screen every time.
When Jackie and I went to go see it, we were all lit up. I literally going, they're getting old.
Man, Glass was so bad. I was
Glass.
so mad
God,
that he
Glass.
got me on.
But I love Split.
Split was
Yeah.
fucking garbage.
I loved
it. I
Split
loved
was
it.
the Cloverfield Lane was the better version of Split.
Loved Cloverfield Lane.
Lane.
Yeah, that movie was great. Split was shit. Sixth Sense probably sucks if you go back and watch it.
No,
It does.
actually, it's not as bad as you would expect it to be because I went back and rewatched it a couple of years ago.
Donnie Wahlberg.
And
Did a
Donnie
great
Wahlberg,
job.
very good at it. I am excited to go see Trap though. I'm looking forward.
yeah, buddy.
Because I watched the trailer for it. And
I get
was
drunk
so
and ready
in.
for everyone.
Dude.
I don't care. There's something about his movies. Like, I don't mind it if how do I put this? I know you're almost wasting my time.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know that this is M. Night Shyamalan. You know what it is, honestly? It's what I know about the man. The man makes movies because he is obsessed with making movies. And he puts up his own money for all of his films so that nobody can tell him what to do
Yeah.
with any of his movies. Yes. Does he?
Oh, it's
might
Josh
he-
Hartnett.
It's oh yeah.
I didn't even recognize him.
Oh, yeah, he's back now.
He's like a man now.
He's pulling
Oh, it's
like
a hard
the...
renaissance. It's ever since Oppenheimer.
He's a much better actor now, too.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a much better actor now.
He
but
is.
there's something about these movies when I
It's
go...
like
and I-
sudden death, kind of.
yeah. It's like, I know that it's not great, but it's like, just don't lie to me about it. I like watching M. Night Shyamalan put his heart and soul in these movies. I do. Do I believe he might need somebody to probably go help him edit?
Edit. He needs an editor.
And
he
a
needs somebody
writer.
to edit.
But
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
A
he's-
dialogue. Someone who does dialogue.
That man's living the fucking dream, and that's what I like about with that deal. Well, it's a highly stressful life that he leads. I appreciate the fact that he doesn't have to fucking. There's no notes he's got to take. There's no final edit.
Yeah, but
someone
how
else
do you
gets to
feel
have.
now that his daughter did Watchers, and then his other daughter is the pop
actor.
star
Yeah.
lead in Trap. So Eddie, I don't know if you're familiar with what it's about, but it's like Josh Hartnett takes his daughter essentially to a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
There's a killer at the concert. In the
He is the
trailer, he's
killer.
the killer.
Yes.
But the pop star is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, and she wrote an entire album of music to debut in this movie.
Well, that's
Yeah, well,
kind of cool.
It
You know,
kind
it's
of makes
just
me
a
like
lot-
M. Night Shyamalan even more. I think it's cute.
I think it's
But
cute.
you hate Nepo babies.
I don't hate Nepo babies.
Oh, okay. I thought you did. Henry
No.
hates Nepo babies.
I think
fine
it's
with
great.
them. I think that Nepo babies are just. They're just.
You're obsessed with Bronny James.
Bronny, I'm obsessed with because of the way they are changing the entire rules of basketball to put him on a team to play probably half a season with his father that I'm going to try to go get a ticket to go see, which is going to be like fucking
So they
15,
got
2000.
you.
Yeah. They got me. I'm obsessed with that storyline, but it's also more so like Nepo babies in the entertainment
I
industry.
like Nepo babies,
They're-
personally.
they're
I feel like
fine.
they're
I
well
think it's
trained.
great. They have to.
Sometimes.
Yes, it depends on the Nepo baby. It depends on what they're doing.
It depends on what they're
how
doing.
hard they're working.
See, like Bronny James is obviously not ready to be on the Lakers. And in basketball, it's easy to tell if you're not ready.
That's true.
Because you're not scoring points.
I'm ready. Put me in. I dribble it. And
Yeah.
go,
She
I
dribbled. She dribbled him in here.
Yeah,
That's why
not
she
as tall
brought her
as him.
fucking her. Seriously, he's very small. But it's like that's why I'm fascinated because it's like essentially like it's more somebody Marcus's size playing basketball.
Yeah.
That he's just they've sort of allowed.
The going back to Trap, I love the suspense movies that take place in arenas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't like get out of the arena, you know, and there's
Yes.
always that. There was a movie that came out, it was a underground, not underground, but just straight to video action film called Final Score.
Okay.
It came out like 6 or 7 years ago, starring Dave Bautista, who's like my favorite.
I love Dave Bautista.
Yeah. And and he has to like find. There's a soccer match, and he has to find the people who are trying to kill everyone at the soccer match.
Ooh.
And it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
69%.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll watch that. I think we've done it.
Before we go,
Oh, yes.
how good does Nosferatu look?
Oh my God.
It looks like my favorite movie. Like before it even comes out.
God. And like, I
Has he
see
fucked up yet? Has David Eggers fucked up one time yet?
Not in my opinion.
What else has he done? I'm actually
The
even down.
Northman was great. My bachelor party. Remember?
I actually felt like the Northman got a bunch of hate for some reason.
I thought it was fucking
I
awesome.
loved the Northman.
Yeah, Northman was
What's her name?
great.
How do you feel about I was talking with someone else about Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu. Now,
She's perfect as a skinny.
I think that she is because she's Mina, or I don't know if it
She
is
looks
Mina,
great
but it's
as
like
Mina,
I
yeah.
feel like she's got the face to be like from a different time.
In a traditional horror, in a traditional vampire story, it looks like they're doing it this way, you want someone that looks sort of like a fainting, like
it's not Mina, her name's
like
Ellen. I guess.
Lily. You know what I mean? Like you need something that's because it's not Nosferatu is the original story that Dracula stole. So essentially, like Nosferatu came out before, like it's this whole thing. Nosferatu was based off
The
it's like
OG.
whole thing.
Yeah. And I also love that Willem Dafoe is in it because he played Nosferatu in was it
Which is another great movie.
Shadow of a Vampire?
Shadow of a Vampire,
Yeah, which was great. But yeah, know who else is in Nosferatu? Who has been one of my favorite guys lately is Aaron Taylor Johnson, the kid from Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah.
He's been doing really good.
He is. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's been doing really good. I really enjoy him. And if I could throw a shout out to a non-horror movie to make sure everyone watches it as it comes out, I've told both of you to go see it. Kill is probably the best action movie of the last decade.
Can't wait.
Can't
It's
wait to
fucking
see it.
unbelievable.
I can't wait to see it. So we already got. Honestly, while we did talk a lot of mess,
It's Indian, not Korean.
I'm really excited to see this. Well, we did talk a lot of mess. I will say, I think that in the end we're gonna show you all, right? Spend your money in the movie theater.
Please go to the movie theater.
Go to the movie
Movie
theater. Get a Stubbs
theater.
account. It doesn't cost that much.
It's
I know.
$23.99 a month. You can see up to 3 movies a week.
We don't. I know that we have nothing to do with Stubbs.
No,
we have nothing
I
to do with
wish.
AMC. They're not giving us
I have
any
stock
money.
in AMC and it's doing horrible.
He's doing terrible because it's such a good deal. Because it's literally such a
And
good
God,
deal.
don't tell them it's such a good deal because I'm so worried they're going to take Stubbs away. I don't know what I will do
I
with my
see
life.
every
not.
movie for free.
There's so many people who just have it and don't go. That's where they make their money.
Yes.
and we all go and buy like a $30 beer, and so they're fine.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care. They just
And
want us in the door.
I'm just saying that that people work on these movies and they try really hard. And without you going to see them in the theaters until we figure out a way to properly show how you count the way people watch these things, because that's what they're all seeing. That's what all these production companies are doing. They're all fighting over how they decide they want to count how many people watch these things on the internet. Netflix got its own numbers. Amazon has its own numbers. Apple has its own numbers. And they just make it up. They don't tell you. So the way we can directly help these people that are making movies is by spending the money in the theater to go see it.
Yeah.
And so if you like movies, and I know that there's a lot of people, like obviously this is not for people that don't like, big groups or whatever fucking bullshit. I get it. But it's like if you like them, go out and see these movies.
Yeah.
Put money in the hands of people that make the stuff that like what you like.
I went and saw Sound of Freedom 3 times last year.
He loved it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They're even showing the Olympics at the movie theater
Which I think
right
is
now.
really cool.
It's so smart. I would love to see huge Olympics.
Absolutely. So go see In a Violent Nature. Go see Long Legs. Go see
Violent Nature, I had to buy on Apple.
I did the same. I went and bought because now it's not in theaters anymore.
But Devil's Bath, you can definitely
See the
stream.
Devil's Bath. Get Shudder. Give them your
Nosferatu.
money.
Bring your parents to go see Nosferatu this Christmas and scare the shit out of your mother.
Yes, and also horror movies. Shudder. What is it? $5.99, $6.99 a
Also,
month. It's
I don't
another
do it.
one of those.
I should hook up.
Oh, and
with
then
that.
our buddy David
Oh,
Dust
God,
Malchin did Late Night with the Devil. Go watch Late Night with the Devil.
Dude, yes. Another one that was like, I had never seen that movie before, but it was like the inklings of other stories kind of put into one. So it wasn't like, whoa, what? But I loved Late Night with the Devil.
I gotta see it. So, and we just, if you go to our Patreon, you can hear an interview with us and the directors of Mind, Body, Spirit.
Which is also a really great small found footage movie that I
Ooh.
absolutely
I think you'd
love.
love it,
Mind, Body,
Jackie.
Spirit?
Yeah, it's great. Evil
Okay.
Yoga.
Evil Yoga.
Ooh, okay. That makes me think of In a Violent Nature, but we don't need to bring that up.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's good. He's got great kills. All right, so go out there. You know, go live life. Mm-hmm. Right, go live every day knowing that there's another horror movie for you to see, and love the fact that you can see it with your family, or tell your family to go fuck themselves.
You
go
could.
watch it alone in the garage
Yeah.
or in your car. You can bring the laptop out there. You can watch it in your
Just make sure the garage door is open.
and the
if
car's not running.
on. Yeah.
Don't do that.
And if your pants are baggy enough, you can sneak in a Jersey Mike's.
That's the key.
Whoa.
Or, like our buddies did, our friend Adam Newman, they all went to go see the stupid Garfield movie and they all brought in lasagna.
Yes.
You'd be surprised what you can bring into a movie theater. Make it your home.
They don't stop you.
All right?
Honestly, it makes
and
me
then
think of
you'll
the
laugh
dude.
your way to the bank.
Do you see the guy that was watching Love Lies Bleeding that people took pictures of him because he
Yes,
had
the open pornography.
The open pornography, a bottle of Fireball, some joints, and he's passed out with his dick in his hand watching Love Lies Bleeding.
I mean, if you got to watch pornography when these beautiful women are up on the screen in
know.
front of
They're
you.
acting.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
I wouldn't need the porn. That's for damn sure.
Well, everyone's different. Mm-hmm. Thank you, guys. Join the patreon.com/podcast on the left. You can watch us talk and perform. Go on twitch.tv/LPNTV and you can go and see that is where we do our streams.
If
And
they
are very
can't
good.
understand you, it doesn't matter if you're plugging.
They are very good. Go to lastpodcastontheleft.com to buy tickets for all our various live shows. And then go to, what else?
Page 7.
Page 7.
Jack is on page 7.
Come check out page 7.
It's it's an unbelievable show. Page
good
7,
put.
and also what's going on with you're done with Court of Thorn and Roses, right?
Yes, but we are starting up with Crescent City deep dives.
And what
soon,
is
so
that?
That's
That's
going to
a
be
New
out.
Orleans?
It's another one.
It is not. Has nothing to do with New Orleans. No.
Really?
It is.
Even
no.
though it's called Crescent City?
Correct.
No, it's been a thing in our home.
It's Fae. No, it's the world of the Fae, but it is
okay.
another
Took it from
series.
us.
Yep, it's another series from
great.
SJM, and we're really excited about that. And come hang out with us. Yeah, good.
Sarah
put,
Jessica
man.
Marker?
All right, fuckers. See you in hell.
Also, I'll see you at the Side Stories show on September 13th in Chicago.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
We'll have a
we
great
need to
time.
plug our show.
Have a great
We'll do
time,
that.
guys.